Have you ever wondered why some people seem to carry the weight of the world on their shoulders? Why, no matter how much they give, they often feel drained, unseen, or unappreciated. If you were one of these people, you may have already realized the painful truth. Kind people suffer the most. But this suffering is not random. It is woven into the very nature of empathy and compassion. Kindness is often celebrated as a virtue, something to aspire to. Yet in practice, it can be lonely, exhausting, and at times deeply unreciprocated. When you care deeply, when your heart is open, you do not only experience your own pain, you feel the burdens of others. Every betrayal, every insult, every moment of indifference strikes harder. Every injustice seems louder, every act of cruelty more jarring. And this is not weakness, it is sensitivity, a profound attunement to the world, a heart tuned to the suffering and joys of those around you. Imagine a person who always reaches out, always forgives, always gives. They notice the quiet struggles others hide. They feel the unspoken fears, the silent tears. And while the world may praise kindness in theory, in practice it can be lonely. Their generosity can be taken for granted, their patience stretched thin, and their empathy misunderstood. It is a subtle tragedy, the kind that hides behind smiles and polite thanks, unnoticed by most. Yet in this suffering there is a paradoxical gift. Those who feel deeply also understand deeply. They see beneath the surface, into the motives, the struggles, and the humanity of others. They perceive truths that many choose to ignore. This insight comes at a cost, but it creates depth, an emotional and philosophical depth that allows them to navigate life with a rare awareness. Their suffering is not meaningless, it is the price of a profound inner vision. And it is not just about observing the pain of others. Kind people often hold themselves to impossibly high standards. They forgive when others would not. They sacrifice when no one notices. They give when they themselves are running on empty. And over time, this creates a pressure, a slow erosion of emotional energy. It can feel as though the world is relentless, indifferent to the quiet sacrifices being made. But let us pause for a moment. There is beauty in this struggle. There is power in being able to feel so deeply without letting the world harden you. Kindness is a choice, an act of courage in a world that often rewards selfishness and cynicism. The suffering that comes from being kind is also the soil in which resilience grows. Every tear, every moment of exhaustion, every unseen act of empathy shapes strength that others can scarcely imagine. This is why kind people are often misunderstood. Their emotions are intense, their hearts open. The very qualities that make them extraordinary can make them appear vulnerable or naive. But vulnerability is not weakness. It is the courage to remain human in a world that constantly tests the limits of compassion. The quiet suffering they endure is a testament to their authenticity, a mark of someone who refuses to harden their heart despite repeated disappointments. Consider the countless moments in life when kindness meets indifference, when a friend betrays trust, when love goes unreturned, when society overlooks the quiet good that is done daily. To the kind person, these moments are felt deeply, echoing through their conscience, shaping their perception of the world. And yet they continue to act with empathy, to give with heart, to forgive. They suffer, yes, but they also grow. They develop insight, resilience, and a rare understanding of life that others may never know. So, if you are one of these kind souls, know this: your suffering is not a punishment. It is the reflection of your depth, your awareness, and your capacity to love beyond self-interest. The world may not always recognize your pain, but your empathy, your sensitivity, your kindness, these are your superpowers.
They define you not as someone weak, but as someone extraordinary. And finally, remember this: suffering alone is never the whole story. For those who feel deeply, every act of kindness, every moment of compassion, every small gesture of care is amplified. The world may be harsh, but in your heart there is a resilience and light that cannot be extinguished. You endure, you care, you continue to give. And in doing so, you carry a quiet strength that few will ever understand, but which shapes the world nonetheless.